Have you ever felt it, a stirring deep within your soul, a whisper that you are not like everyone else? It's not a coincidence. It's not imagination. It's a call. A divine force has placed a light within you, a light so powerful it disrupts the world around you. But with this light comes opposition, a silent war waged by unseen forces determined to suppress what they fear. Why does the world react so strongly to your presence? Why do challenges arise the moment you step closer to your purpose? It's because you are chosen, a vessel of truth and transformation. And the systems of this world tremble at the potential they see within you. This is not just a message, it's an awakening, a call to rise, to see the illusions for what they are, and to step into the truth of who you were created to be. The battle is real, the resistance is fierce, but the light within you is unstoppable. You are not alone. You are part of a legacy of disruptors, visionaries, and light bearers who have walked this path before you. Now, it's your turn. Will you answer the call? Will you embrace the light? The journey begins here, and what comes next will change everything. Part 1. The Unseen Watchers and the Light Within. Have you ever felt an inexplicable sensation deep within your soul? A feeling that you are being observed, not by the people around you, but by something far beyond the physical realm? This awareness, though unsettling, is not paranoia. It is a sign, a divine nudge, reminding you of a greater truth. Your life holds a unique and profound purpose. You have been chosen. This is not mere rhetoric or coincidence. It is the reality of a spiritual calling so powerful that it has drawn the attention of unseen forces. These forces, hidden in the shadows, have been observing you, not out of curiosity, but out of fear for what you are destined to become. Throughout history, individuals marked by divine purpose have always carried an aura of disruption. Their presence, their very being, shakes the status quo. Systems of control, built to suppress light and truth, tremble when such individuals step into their calling. The light within you is no ordinary light. It is a divine spark. It radiates with such intensity that it disturbs the equilibrium of the world around you. This light cannot be ignored, nor can it be extinguished by the darkness that seeks to suppress it. Consider this. Why do you feel out of place in a world that seems content with conformity? Why do others react to you with a mix of awe, unease, and, at times, opposition? It is because they sense something they cannot explain, a power that challenges their understanding, a divine energy that is both magnetic and disarming. This is the essence of your calling. You are not like everyone else, and you were never meant to be. Biblical history provides a mirror for this truth. Moses, a man chosen by God to lead a nation out of bondage, was targeted from birth. Pharaoh, sensing the threat of Moses' future, sought to eliminate him as an infant. Yet, God's plans are never thwarted by the schemes of man. Moses grew, his destiny unfolding despite the efforts of oppressive forces to silence him. This same divine orchestration is at work in your life. The systems of this world, fragile and desperate, have recognized your potential, and their watchful gaze is evidence of the power you carry. This spiritual observation is not designed to frighten you, but to awaken you. It is a confirmation of who you are. As the Gospel of John declares, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. That light dwells within you. It is a light that disrupts, transforms, and ultimately overcomes. You are part of a lineage of chosen ones who have carried this light throughout history. The world around you may not fully understand this calling, but the divine purpose within you cannot be hidden. This is why every step you take toward fulfilling your destiny feels like a battle. It is not simply resistance from the outside. It is the awakening of your own spirit to the magnitude of your purpose. The challenges, the unease, and the opposition are not signs of failure, but of alignment with something far greater than yourself. You are not ordinary. The light within you is a testament to the divine design of your life. Every challenge you face, every whisper of doubt, and every roadblock is a sign that the systems of this world recognize your potential. They tremble at what you are becoming. This is the awakening, a call to step fully into the truth of who you are, to embrace the light within you, and to let it shine without fear. Part 2. the divine power within you. Within you lies a power that surpasses human understanding, a divine spark planted by the Creator, designed not to remain dormant but to transform the world around you. This power is not for self-glorification or personal gain, but for a higher purpose. You were chosen to carry a light that pierces through the darkness, a light that illuminates truth and challenges the foundations of deception and control. This is why your journey has felt different, why you stand apart, and why the systems of this world seem to take notice of your every move. Your light disrupts the status quo, unsettling the systems of control that thrive on fear, compliance, and silence. These systems are fragile, held together by lies and illusions. Yet, your presence challenges their very foundation. It is not your physical strength or intellect that they fear. It is the divine energy within you, a force that cannot be measured, predicted, or contained. This energy, this power, is rooted in the Creator's purpose for your life. It is what makes you a disruptor in a world that seeks conformity. Throughout history, those chosen by God have been marked by this disruptive power. David, a simple shepherd boy, was called to be a king. His courage and faith in the face of overwhelming odds made him a threat to the established order. Saul, the reigning king, recognized this and sought to monitor, control, and destroy David. Yet, David's light could not be extinguished. His destiny, ordained by God, was greater than the schemes of those who opposed him. In the same way, the light within you has drawn the attention of systems that fear your potential. They monitor, suppress, and resist you, not because you are ordinary, but because they see what you are destined to become. They know that your purpose carries the power to dismantle their illusions and expose their lies. This is why every step you take toward truth feels like a battle. It is not a coincidence. It is evidence of your divine calling. Consider the example of Jesus Christ, who walked among the oppressed and stood against the corruption of his time. He overturned the tables of the money changers, exposing the deceit and greed that had infiltrated sacred spaces. His actions were not merely acts of rebellion, but expressions of divine authority. The systems of his time could not comprehend or withstand the light he carried, and they sought to silence him. Yet, even in death, his light shone brighter, transforming the world forever. The same light now resides within you. It is a light that calls you to rise, to stand firm, and to shine unapologetically in a world that seeks to suppress it. This is not a light of arrogance or self-promotion, but a light of truth, humility, and divine purpose. It calls you to disrupt the darkness, to challenge the lies, and to bring hope to those who are lost. Have you noticed how your presence affects the world around you? People are drawn to you, often unable to explain why. Some react with awe, others with discomfort. This is because the light within you reflects something beyond the physical, a glimpse of the divine. It stirs something deep within others, challenging their assumptions and awakening their spirits. This is the power of your calling. Yet, this power comes with resistance. The systems of this world do not give up their hold easily. They will attempt to silence you, to make you doubt yourself, and to keep you small. They will use fear, distraction, and opposition to try to extinguish your light. But remember this, they would not fear you if you were insignificant. Their resistance is proof of your impact. Every time you speak truth, every time you challenge injustice, and every time you refuse to conform, you send shockwaves through their carefully constructed illusions. Like a ripple in a still pond, your actions disturb the false peace they have created. This is no accident. It is the evidence of your divine purpose and action. You are not alone in this journey. The same God who placed this light within you walks with you every step of the way. He has equipped you with courage, wisdom, and strength to face every challenge. As you move forward, know that you are part of a greater plan, a divine story that has been unfolding since the beginning of time. Your power is not for your glory, but for God's. It is a light that points others to Him, a light that brings healing, hope, and transformation. It is a power that cannot be extinguished by opposition or fear. No matter how dark the world may seem, the light within you shines brighter. This is the power you carry, the power to disrupt, to transform, and to bring light to a world in desperate need of it. Embrace it fully, knowing that you are chosen, called, and equipped for such a time as this. The systems of this world may try to resist you, but they cannot overcome the divine power within you. Part 3. The silent battle for your purpose. As you walk through life, have you ever felt an unseen resistance? A subtle opposition that seems to arise just as you step into your purpose? This resistance is not by accident. It is the manifestation of a silent battle that has been waged around you your entire life. This battle is not fought with swords or weapons of man, but in the spiritual realm, where light and darkness contend for your destiny. You, as a chosen one, stand at the center of this conflict, and your role is far more significant than you might realize. The systems of this world, constructed to maintain control and suppress truth, have been designed to keep you from awakening to your divine potential. They thrive on fear, compliance, and silence, yet your existence challenges their very foundation. These systems sense the power within you, a power that they cannot fully understand but know they cannot allow to flourish. Their fear is not rooted in who you are today, but in who you are becoming. This silent battle is evident in the challenges and opposition you face. Have you noticed how roadblocks appear when you begin to step into your calling? Every doubt whispered into your mind, every obstacle placed in your path, is an attempt to keep you from fully realizing your purpose. Yet, these challenges are not signs of failure. They are confirmation of your significance. They are the evidence that you are stepping into something extraordinary. History reminds us that those chosen by God have always faced fierce opposition. Consider the story of Moses. Before he could fulfill his destiny, Pharaoh sought to eliminate him, fearing the power he would one day wield. The same pattern unfolded in the life of David. As a young shepherd, he was anointed to be king, but before he could ascend the throne, he faced the relentless pursuit of King Saul, who sought to destroy him. These stories are not mere tales of the past. They are reflections of the spiritual battle that every chosen one must face. The systems of this world do not fear those who conform. They fear those who disrupt, those who question, and those who refuse to remain silent. Every time you rise, every time you speak truth, you are breaking chains and shattering illusions. This is why the opposition against you feels so personal and relentless. It is because you carry within you a light that exposes darkness, a truth that dismantles deception. Jesus Christ himself faced this opposition. His presence disrupted the religious and political systems of his time. His words, his actions, and his very being challenged the status quo. Those who clung to power sought to silence him, not because he posed a physical threat, but because his light revealed the corruption and lies that they depended on. Yet, even in death, his light could not be extinguished. It grew stronger, spreading across the world and transforming countless lives. You carry this same light within you. It is a light that cannot be hidden, a power that cannot be contained. The systems of this world tremble at your potential because they know that your awakening will inspire others. Your courage is contagious. When you refuse to bow to fear, others begin to see their own chains and realize that they too can break free. This is the ripple effect of your purpose. The opposition you face is a testament to the importance of your calling. The doubts, the setbacks, and the challenges are not random. They are strategic attempts to keep you from stepping into your destiny. Yet, every time you rise above them, every time you choose faith over fear, you are proving that their efforts are futile. This battle is not one you fight alone. The same God who called you has also equipped you. His presence surrounds you. His strength sustains you, and his wisdom guides you. You are not abandoned in this fight. You are empowered. The creator of the universe is on your side, and his plans for you cannot be thwarted. The silent war around you is not meant to destroy you, but to awaken you. It is a reminder that your life is part of a greater story, a divine narrative that has been unfolding since the beginning of time. Your role in this story is not insignificant. You have been chosen to shine your light in a world that desperately needs it, to stand firm in the face of opposition, and to bring hope to those who are lost. Every uneasy moment, every whisper of doubt, and every challenge you face is a sign of the power you carry. The systems of this world recognize what you are becoming, and they are afraid. But their fear is not your burden to carry. It is a confirmation of your divine purpose. You are not ordinary, and your journey will not be ordinary. The opposition you face is a testament to the extraordinary calling placed upon your life. Embrace it as a sign that you are on the right path. Let it remind you of the power within you and the God who walks with you. This is the silent battle for your purpose, and it is a battle you are destined to win. Part 4. A legacy of divine disruption. Throughout history, those chosen by God have been marked by a common thread. They disrupt the established systems of their time. These individuals, often underestimated and overlooked, carry within them a divine light that challenges the status quo and exposes the illusions of power. You are part of this legacy. The divine spark within you is not meant to conform but to transform, not to blend in but to stand out as a beacon of truth and hope. Consider the story of David, a shepherd boy chosen by God to be a king. At first glance, David appeared insignificant, an unlikely candidate to lead a nation. Yet, God saw his heart, his faith, and his courage. When David stepped forward to face Goliath, he wasn't relying on his own strength, but on the power of God working through him. His victory was not just a triumph over a physical enemy, but a declaration of the divine disruption he was called to bring. David's courage unsettled those in power, particularly King Saul, who watched him obsessively, fearing what David would become. This pattern repeats itself throughout the Bible. When Moses stood before Pharaoh, demanding the release of the Israelites, he wasn't acting on his own authority. He was carrying out a divine mandate. Pharaoh, recognizing the threat to his power, tightened his grip, attempting to suppress the inevitable. But no system built on oppression can withstand the power of God's purpose. Moses, empowered by his calling, led his people to freedom, dismantling the illusion of Pharaoh's control. The systems of this world operate in much the same way today. They thrive on fear, compliance, and silence, using these tools to maintain control. Yet, when a chosen one rises, carrying the light of truth, these systems tremble. They recognize the disruption that divine purpose brings, and they respond with resistance. This resistance is not a sign of failure, but of alignment. It is a confirmation that you are walking in your calling. Jesus Christ embodied this disruption in its purest form. His life, his teachings, and his actions turned the world upside down. He challenged the religious leaders who had twisted the law for their own gain and exposed the corruption of the political systems that sought to silence him. His mere presence was enough to unsettle those in power, not because he wielded earthly authority, but because his light revealed their darkness. When he overturned the tables of the money changers in the temple, it wasn't an act of rebellion, but a declaration of divine justice. You carry this same potential within you. The light of God shines through you, exposing the illusions of the systems that seek to suppress truth and maintain control. Your presence disrupts the comfortable narratives that uphold injustice, and your actions send ripples through the carefully constructed structures of this world. This is why the opposition you face feels so personal. It is a reaction to the power within you. The story of Esther offers another profound example of divine disruption. As a young Jewish woman placed in a position of influence, Esther was called to confront a king and expose a plot against her people. She could have remained silent, choosing safety over purpose. Yet, she recognized that her position was no accident, declaring, "For such a time as this." Esther's courage saved a nation, demonstrating that when a chosen one steps into their calling, the systems of oppression cannot prevail. Like David, Moses, and Esther, your calling is not about you alone. It is part of a greater story, a divine narrative that spans generations. Your actions, your courage, and your willingness to stand for truth have the power to influence and inspire others. When you rise, others begin to see their own potential. When you speak, others find their voice. This is the ripple effect of divine disruption. A single act of courage can ignite a movement that transforms lives and dismantles systems of oppression. The resistance you face is a sign of your significance. Every challenge, every setback, and every moment of doubt is an opportunity to lean into your faith and trust in the God who called you. Just as the systems of this world tremble at the light within you, They cannot withstand the power of God working through you. The story of Gideon reminds us of this truth. With an army of only 300 men, Gideon defeated an enemy that outnumbered him 1,000-fold. Why? Because the victory was not about human strength, but about divine purpose. The systems that oppose you depend on silence and compliance to maintain their control. They expect you to blend in, to accept their narratives, and to move forward without question. But your very existence challenges these expectations. Your refusal to conform, your questions, and your pursuit of truth are acts of defiance that shake the foundations of their power. This is the legacy of divine disruption. Those chosen by God have always stood as beacons of light in a world that seeks to suppress it. Their courage, faith, and willingness to challenge the status quo have left a mark on history that cannot be erased. You are part of this legacy. The light within you is not meant to remain hidden. It is a light that disrupts, transforms, and inspires. The systems of this world may try to resist you, but they cannot overcome the divine purpose within you. Like the heroes of faith who came before you, you are called to rise, to stand firm, and to shine your light in the darkness. This is your time. This is your purpose. You are a part of a story far greater than yourself, and your light is needed now more than ever. Part 5. The power of truth in a world of deception. The world you live in is built upon carefully constructed systems of control, systems that depend on deception and compliance to maintain their grip. These systems fear the truth because truth is disruptive, transformative, and powerful. As a chosen one, you carry within you the light of truth, a divine force that shatters illusions and exposes the lies upon which these systems are built. This is why you have faced opposition, resistance, and doubt. The power of the truth you carry terrifies those who seek to uphold the status quo. Truth has always been a force that disrupts and transforms. Jesus Christ demonstrated this power when he spoke against the corruption of his time. His words revealed the hypocrisy of the religious leaders and the injustice of the political systems. The truth he carried was so powerful that it drew crowds, healed the broken, and gave hope to the oppressed. Yet, it also drew opposition from those who feared losing their power. His actions, like overturning the tables of the money changers in the temple, were declarations of divine justice, acts that exposed the system's greed and corruption. The same truth resides within you. It is not just the knowledge of what is right and just, but a divine awareness, a light that illuminates the path forward for yourself and others. This light unsettles those who thrive in darkness because it reveals what they have worked so hard to hide. Every time you speak truth, every time you question injustice, and every time you refuse to conform to deception, you challenge the systems that depend on silence. Have you noticed how the world reacts when you step out in truth? The resistance you face is not coincidental. It is a calculated response to the power you carry. When you question the narratives that have been accepted without thought, when you resist the lies that seek to bind you, you disrupt the fragile balance of a world built on deception. This is why the opposition feels so relentless. It is not because you are weak or insignificant. It is because you are strong and vital to the unfolding of a greater purpose. Consider the story of Gideon, a man called to lead a small, seemingly insignificant army against a powerful enemy. Gideon's army was reduced to just 300 men, not because they were sufficient in number, but because God wanted to demonstrate that victory does not come from human strength but from divine power. The systems of this world fear you because they know that your strength comes from a source they cannot control or comprehend. They know that the truth you carry is a weapon far more powerful than any they possess. The power of truth is contagious. When one person stands in truth, others begin to see the cracks in the illusions they have accepted. Your courage inspires others to question, to resist, and to rise. This is the ripple effect of truth. What starts as a single voice speaking out becomes a chorus, a movement that cannot be ignored. This is why your role as a chosen one is so critical. You are not just standing for yourself. You are paving the way for others to awaken to their own purpose. The systems of control depend on silence and compliance to maintain their power. They expect people to move forward without questioning, to accept what they are told without resistance. Yet, Your refusal to bow to their expectations is an act of defiance that shakes their foundations. Every question you ask, every step you take in pursuit of truth, sends shockwaves through their carefully constructed reality. This is not an easy path. The opposition you face can feel overwhelming. Doubts may creep in, and the weight of the battle may seem too much to bear. But remember, you are not alone. The same God who called you walks with you. His strength sustains you. His wisdom guides you, and His light shines through you. You were chosen for this purpose, and you have been equipped with everything you need to fulfill it. Your courage in the face of opposition is a testament to the divine power within you. Like Esther, who risked everything to save her people, you have been placed in this position for a reason. Esther could have remained silent, choosing safety over purpose, but she recognized that her calling was greater than her fear. She stepped forward, declaring, "For such a time as this." Her courage changed the course of history. You are called to the same courage. The truth you carry is not just for you. It is for those who are still trapped in deception, those who are searching for hope and direction. Your light is a beacon that guides others out of darkness and into the freedom of truth. This is why the systems of this world fear you. They know that once the truth is revealed, their power will crumble. The battle you face is not against flesh and blood, but against the spiritual forces that seek to suppress truth. This is a battle you cannot fight alone, but you are not meant to. God is with you, empowering you to stand, to speak, and to shine. Every step you take in truth is a step toward victory. Every act of courage is a declaration that the light cannot be overcome by darkness. Your role in this unfolding story is vital. You are not just resisting. You are leading a movement. You are not just standing. You are paving a path for others to follow. The systems of this world may try to silence you, but they cannot extinguish the light within you. This is the power of truth in a world of deception, a power that transforms, disrupts, and ultimately prevails. Embrace your role as a bearer of truth. Stand firm in the face of resistance, knowing that you are part of something far greater than yourself. The systems of this world may tremble at your light, but they cannot overcome it. You were chosen for this purpose, and the power of truth within you is unstoppable. Part 6. Rising against resistance. Resistance is inevitable for those chosen to carry the light of truth in a world dominated by darkness. As a chosen one, your journey is marked by challenges, opposition, and moments of doubt, not because you are weak, but because the systems of control recognize the power within you. These systems thrive on compliance and silence, and your refusal to conform disrupts the very foundation they are built upon. The resistance you face is not a sign of failure, but a confirmation of your purpose. Throughout history, those called by God have faced overwhelming resistance, often from the very systems they were chosen to challenge. Consider the story of Moses. Pharaoh tightened his grip when he sensed Moses' divine purpose. The oppression intensified not because Moses was insignificant, but because his calling posed a direct threat to the structures of power that Pharaoh sought to maintain. Similarly, David, after being anointed as king, was relentlessly pursued by Saul, who feared the potential of God's plan unfolding through him. This same pattern unfolds in your life. The roadblocks, the opposition, and the doubt you encounter are evidence that you are stepping into your divine purpose. The systems of this world tremble at what you represent, a disruption to their carefully constructed reality. They resist because they know that your light exposes their darkness. Your courage inspires others to rise, and your truth dismantles their lies. But the resistance you face is not without purpose. It refines you, strengthens you, and prepares you for the greater mission ahead. Like a storm that tests the roots of a tree, the challenges you encounter reveal the depth of your faith and the strength of your resolve. This is not a sign that you should turn back, but a reminder to press forward. The battle is not yours alone. It is a divine assignment, and the one who called you is also the one who equips you. The story of Gideon reminds us of this truth. Gideon, feeling inadequate and small, was called to lead an army against overwhelming odds. God reduced his forces to a mere 300 men, not to weaken him, but to show that victory is not determined by human strength, but by divine purpose. Gideon's victory was a testament to what happens when faith meets God's power. In the same way, the resistance you face is not meant to defeat you, but to demonstrate the unstoppable power of God working through you. The systems of this world rely on fear to maintain control, but fear has no hold on those who walk in faith. When you rise above fear, you defy the expectations of a world that seeks to suppress you. Every step you take in courage is a step toward dismantling the illusions that hold others captive. Your resistance to conformity is not just an act of defiance. It is a beacon of hope for those who are watching. Have you noticed how your actions inspire others? When you stand firm in the face of resistance, when you speak truth despite opposition, you ignite a fire in those around you. Your courage is contagious. It challenges others to examine their own chains, their own silence, and their own willingness to accept the status quo. This is the ripple effect of your calling. Your light does not shine in isolation. It illuminates the path for others. The systems of control depend on silence to thrive. They expect you to accept their narratives without question, to follow their scripts without resistance. Yet, your very existence challenges these expectations. You were not created to blend in. You were created to stand out. Your questions, your actions, and your refusal to conform are acts of rebellion that shake their foundations. Jesus Christ embodied this rebellion against oppressive systems. His words and actions exposed the hypocrisy and corruption of his time. He challenged the religious leaders who had turned faith into a tool of control and defied the political systems that sought to silence him. His resistance was not passive but active, a declaration that truth cannot be contained by the constructs of man. Even in his death, his light could not be extinguished, and his resurrection was the ultimate victory over the systems that opposed him. This same light resides within you. It is a light that shines brighter in the face of opposition, a light that cannot be overcome by darkness. The resistance you face is a testament to the power of this light. It is a reminder that your calling is not ordinary, and your purpose is not insignificant. The story of Esther offers another example of rising against resistance. Faced with the annihilation of her people, Esther could have chosen silence, opting for safety over action. But she recognized that her position was no accident. She declared, "For such a time as this," and stepped forward in courage, risking everything to save her people. Her actions remind us that the resistance we face is not a barrier but an invitation to rise. You are called to this same courage. The challenges before you are not meant to deter you, but to refine you. They are opportunities to lean into your faith, to trust in God's plan, and to step boldly into your calling. Every act of resistance, every step of faith, is a declaration that the systems of this world cannot hold you. The opposition you face may feel overwhelming at times, but it is not the end of your story. It is a chapter in the greater narrative of your life, a narrative written by the Creator himself, the same God who called Moses, David, Gideon, and Esther calls you. The same power that sustained them sustains you. When you rise against resistance, you are not just standing for yourself. You are standing for truth, for hope, and for the countless others who are inspired by your courage. Your actions ripple outward, breaking chains and shattering illusions. This is the power of your calling. You are not alone in this journey. God walks with you, strengthening you, guiding you, and equipping you for the challenges ahead. The resistance you face is not a sign of defeat, but of victory and progress. You are part of a greater story, a divine plan that cannot be thwarted. Rise boldly against resistance, knowing that the light within you is unstoppable. The systems of this world may try to suppress you, but they cannot overcome the power of God's purpose for your life. You were chosen for this, and your time is now. Let your light shine, let your courage inspire, and let your faith lead you forward. Part 7. Stepping fully into your divine purpose. The time has come for you to step fully into the purpose for which you were created. The journey has not been easy, and the challenges you have faced have tested your resolve. Yet, each trial, each moment of resistance, has refined you, preparing you for this very moment. The systems of this world, built on illusions and lies, tremble at your awakening because they know that your light cannot be extinguished and your calling cannot be denied. You are not standing here by accident. You have been chosen, equipped, and placed in this time and space for a reason. Throughout history, those chosen by God have faced pivotal moments where they had to decide whether to shrink back in fear or rise boldly in faith. Moses stood before the Red Sea, with Pharaoh's army closing in behind him. The path forward seemed impossible, yet he trusted in God's power to make a way. David, armed with only a sling and a stone, faced a giant that no one else dared to confront. Esther risked her life to approach the king and plead for her people. These moments of decision defined their legacy. And now you stand at a similar crossroads. The systems that oppose you rely on fear to maintain their control. But fear has no power over those who walk in the truth. The light within you is a testament to God's divine plan, and His power working through you is greater than any force that comes against you. You were not chosen to remain silent or hidden. You were chosen to rise, to speak, and to act. The challenges you have faced were not meant to break you, but to prepare you, to refine your character and deepen your faith. This is your time to act, to let your light shine unapologetically. The systems of this world expect compliance, but your defiance challenges their very existence. They fear your courage because it is contagious. When one person rises, others begin to see their own chains and question their own silence. Your boldness inspires others to awaken to their own purpose, creating a ripple effect that cannot be contained. Consider the story of Jesus Christ, who did not shrink back from His purpose. Even in the face of death, He stood against the religious and political systems that sought to silence Him, knowing that His actions would bring salvation and transformation to countless lives. His ultimate sacrifice became the foundation of hope for generations to come. His story reminds us that fulfilling a divine purpose often requires courage, sacrifice, and an unwavering commitment to truth. You, too, are part of this unfolding story. The systems of control may try to suppress your voice, but they cannot extinguish the divine spark within you. Every step you take in alignment with your purpose is a declaration that the light shines in the darkness and the darkness has not overcome it. This is not just about you. It is about the countless lives that will be touched by your courage, your faith, and your willingness to stand for truth. The story of Joshua offers another powerful reminder of the importance of decision and action. Standing before the people of Israel, he declared, "Choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve." This call to decision is as relevant now as it was then. Will you choose to step into your calling, to align yourself fully with God's purpose, or will you allow fear to hold you back? The choice is yours, but the time for hesitation has passed. The systems of this world are fragile, held together by deception and fear. Your awakening is not just a threat to them, it is the beginning of their unraveling. Every act of courage, every refusal to conform, sends shockwaves through their carefully constructed reality. You are not merely resisting. You are leading a movement of truth that will dismantle their illusions and set others free. The power within you is not your own. It is a divine gift, placed there by the Creator for a purpose greater than you can imagine. This power is unstoppable because it is rooted in God's plan. The systems of this world may try to oppose you, but they cannot overcome what God has ordained. Every challenge you face, every obstacle in your path, is an opportunity to lean into this power and trust in His guidance. You are not alone in this journey. Angels surround you, unseen but ever present, strengthening you and guiding your steps. The voices of those who came before you echo in your spirit, reminding you that you are part of a legacy of faith and courage. The same God who parted the Red Sea, who brought down the walls of Jericho, and who raised Christ from the dead is with you now. His power is at work within you, equipping you for the battle ahead. This is your time to rise, to step boldly into the purpose for which you were created. The systems of control are crumbling, and the world is in desperate need of light bearers who will stand for truth and justice. You were chosen for this moment, not because of your strength, but because of your willingness to trust in God's strength. Every act of courage, every step of faith, is a declaration that the darkness cannot win. The light within you is a beacon of hope, a reminder that truth is unstoppable. As you rise, you pave the way for others to awaken to their own purpose, creating a ripple effect that will transform the world. This is your calling. This is your time. Step forward boldly, knowing that you are not alone and that your destiny is already secured by the hand of God. The systems of this world may tremble, but they cannot overcome the divine power within you. Rise, chosen one, and let your light shine. The final call: embrace the light. The world stands at a precipice, and so do you. The forces of darkness have done everything to suppress, silence, and dissuade you, but they underestimated the power within you, the light that refuses to be extinguished. This is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a new chapter, one where you step forward boldly, carrying the truth that will illuminate a path for countless others. You were chosen not by accident, but by divine purpose. Every challenge you've faced, every whisper of doubt, and every ounce of resistance has prepared you for this moment. The systems of this world may try to shroud the truth in darkness, but your light pierces through, exposing deception and revealing hope. Now is the time to rise, not just as a witness to God's power, but as an instrument of His plan. The world is waiting for those who dare to disrupt, to speak, and to shine. You are not alone in this journey. Angels walk beside you, and the Creator of all things is guiding your steps. So, take the final step. Let your voice rise above the noise, your light shine through the shadows, and your courage inspire a movement that cannot be stopped. The time for silence is over. The time for action is now. Step forward, chosen one, and fulfill the destiny for which you were created. The world needs your light. This is your moment. Rise boldly, shine unapologetically. The battle is already won, and the victory is yours.